Hey guys, Coaster Direction coming at you with the top 9 roller coasters at Six Flags St. Louis. This is a pretty good Six Flags park, although, albeit it is a little small with only 9 roller coasters. I found what they had was really good, except for the first 2. That's about it, in my opinion, that were truly not that good or bad. It I'm sorry for a bit of a delay. I had school. I just didn't feel like making videos because my life was crammed. I had practice and all this other stuff. I just couldn't do it. Or I didn't feel like doing it. So technically, it is my fault. I'm sorry. However, I was able to squeeze in Six Flags St. Louis, which was my first Six Flags park in a while. Starting off at number 9 is Boomerang. This is an in this is yeah, it's a Vekoma Boomerang. It's the one that was at Over Texas for a while, got moved out, and now it's at St. Louis. It's their newest roller coaster, quote unquote, even though this thing is super old. It's just a Vekoma Boomerang. There's not much to say about it. It still has the over the shoulder restraints. Lines are ridiculous because of its awful capacity, and people in the GP actually think it's kind of cool, but it's really not. Whatever. I passed on this. I didn't write it. I've been on Vekoma Boomerangs enough. Whatever. On to number 9, we have Ninja. This is an interesting ride. It was started by Aerodynamics, or I think it was Aero Hus at the time, possibly. I'm not sure. Anyways, at the time, Aero went bankrupt. And this was about 86 when it happened. This was originally at the World's Fair in Canada. And then Vekoma finished it up. So you have two companies that are notorious for rough coasters. Smash them together, and you get this ride. It's it's a lot better than you'd think it sounds. Actually, it's not great at all, though. It's still pretty rough. The only inversions I thought were pretty cool were the corkscrews towards the end. It's a really short ride, honestly. It's okay. Anyways, moving on, we have number 7, which is Pandemonium, the spinning coaster. This is at a lot of Six Flags parks. If you go to a decent amount of Six Flags parks, you probably honestly ridden this. It's the only parts that I thought were good to great were the downward helixes and the upward helixes. That's where the spinning aspect really shone. That's about it, though. On to number 6, we have the River King Mine Train. Fun ride. It's a pretty good ride. It's a good mine train. Honestly, not my favorite. I think it's the lowest on my mine trains, even though I've been on what grand total of this is my third, I think. Huh? Yeah. Anyways, it's a good family coaster. It's the closest thing to a kiddie coaster they have because this is what their park is lacking. They're lacking a good kid section, which includes a kid roller coaster, and so it's a good kid coaster, I guess. It's not intense at all. But moving on to number 5, we have Screaming Eagle, which is a good, really good PTC uh, wooden coaster. The colors on this, it still looks good. It does not look faded at all. Or it does look faded, however, it is not nearly as bad as some of the older PTC roller coasters or Taft roller coasters or and the likes of the era. It's a really good roller coaster or wooden coaster for the era. It's still running relatively smooth. It's a little rough around the edges. The airtime on this thing is the best part. You are out of your seat the entire time, or yeah, most of the time at least. Ejector airtime galore. So much fun. It's an awesome ride. Number 4, we have American Thunder. Once again, another fantastic wooden coaster. This park has 3 really good wooden coasters. This is the first GCI I've been on, and the seats on this thing are amazing. They're super comfortable. I'd say they compete with Millennium Forces and Diamondback, or not the Diamondback, but B&M restraints in general. Not just Diamondback, obviously. But anyways, this is a great ride. It twists over itself multiple times. and it's just an overall really fun ride. I know I'm kind of repeating myself with these, but it's a good ride. Number 3, we have Batman the Ride. This was my first of the Batman clones. I thought it was really good. I thought it was pretty fun. Uh, my favorite part was towards the end with the bunch of helices and the bank turns and the corkscrews going over the bank turns and everything. I I really like this. The first half was okay. Obviously, I like the zero G roll because I love zero G rolls. They're one of my favorite elements in roller coasters. But anyways, fun ride. You can get this pretty much at every park. Bad thing is though, the re-ride rules on this thing, they don't really allow for re-rides, even though the line was like minuscule that day, and the line has no shortcut in it. The line on this thing is ridiculous. You had to walk all the way around to get another re-ride, unfortunately. But I got 3 rides on it. It was good. Number 2 is the Boss. This thing is a journey. Like, roller coasters that I would say are a journey, in my opinion. The Boss, obviously, the Beast, Voyage, obviously, and Millennium Force. Those are the roller coasters that I felt I actually went somewhere. This thing is a great wooden coaster. I think it's my number 3rd in the wooden coaster, but it's it's rough, but it is a fun ride. It reminds me of a lot of the Legend and the Beast. If you smash those two together, this is what you would get, in my opinion. It's a fast ride. It's a long ride. It's the longest in the park at over 5,000 feet. Love this ride. I'd say go here for this ride alone. If you could, this would be the main reason why, because the top one has a clone, but there's no clone of this. There's nothing similar to this anywhere in the world, as far as I know. And number 1 is Mr. Freeze Reversed Blast. You are probably guessing this at this point. This ride is awesome. 6, 7 rides on this. I can't remember exactly what I got. This ride is so much fun. There was no line for it all day, and this thing has good capacity. Good capacity for a shuttle launch premier coaster. This is due to the special station mechanism it has, where you have it splits up like you would on like X2 or Gatekeeper or something, where you go to 2 separate sides of the station, and there are 2 loading docks, and you load onto one of the 2 trains, and then your loading dock, once you get checked and everything, slides over into the launch position, and then you get launched from there, and then it stays there, and then the other train can load and get people off and everything. It has it's an awesome ride. The vertical spike is one of my favorite elements, and the inverted top hat is also phenomenal. Just an overall a great coaster. The bank turn, like I said, go here for the Boss, American Thunder, and Mr. Freeze Reverse Blast, even though I know there's one at Over Texas. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like, comment, favorite, and subscribe, and as always, keep coasting.